Family, it's your brother O Guy, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Hit that subscribe button. It's no secret and it's no doubt that Michael Vick was one of the most electrifying, if not one of the best players to ever play the game of football. Rising from the ranks of Virginia, going all the way to the NFL, becoming even the highest paid player at that time. Michael Vick was on his way to making some big things happen until one day everything ended for him. Let's take a look back into the story of Michael Vick and the unjust treatment. Let's go.
You cried a number of nights.
Yeah.
About?
What I did, being away from my family, letting so many people down, letting myself down, not being out on the football field, being in a prison bed, in a prison bunk, writing letters home. That wasn't my life. That wasn't the way that things were supposed to be. And all because of the so-called culture that I thought was right. And I thought it was cool, and I thought it was, it was fun and it was exciting at the time. It all led to me laying in a prison bunk.
Atlanta Falcons took Michael Vick with the first overall pick in the 2001 NFL draft. And Michael Vick quickly took the NFL by storm. Now, we know in college and in high school and in Pop Warner, he was pretty much unstoppable. His unorthodox, left, the way he threw the ball sidearm, the way he ran the ball, his speed, his 40 time coming in probably the fastest time ever. I think at that time, you had quarterbacks like Steve Young and other quarterbacks before, but nobody quite like Vick. It's just unfortunate that one bad mistake would lead him in a penitentiary.
Who months ago was throwing for touchdowns as the star quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, now has thrown himself before the mercy of a federal court, admitting in court papers to dogfighting. The one-count plea to be entered by Vick in Richmond, Virginia, Monday, charges Vick with conspiracy, a charge that could bring as much as a 5-year prison term. Responding to a possible plea deal earlier this week, one of Vick's defense attorneys indicated the agile quarterback couldn't run from his past.
He's accepting responsibilities for those charges, and he's trying to put the pieces of his life back together, and ask that you pray for him and forgive him for any wrongdoings that he may have been involved in.
3 co-defendants have already pleaded guilty, and all 3 gave graphic details about how Michael Vick's Virginia property was the headquarters of Bad News Kennels, that dogs were raised there to fight, that Vick not only financed the operation, but took part in gambling, and that Michael Vick personally killed underperforming dogs by drowning and electrocution. In his plea agreement today, Vick's lawyers appeared to be trying to minimize the damage, specifically saying while Vick financed the operation, even put up money for purses, he did not bet on the dogs. He did admit, however, to agreeing to the killing of 6 to 8 dogs that did not perform well in so-called testing sessions. The dogs were killed by various methods, including hanging and drowning. And, the summary states, Vick agrees and stipulates that these dogs all died as a result of the collective efforts of his co-defendants Pernell Peace, Quantas Phillips, and himself, Vick. Neither Vick nor the prosecution had anything to say about the plea deal beyond the court filings. Once the plea is entered in court Monday, a federal judge will decide whether to accept it and then set a sentencing date.
It's a reason why I want to put everything on the record. I want to show you this. I want to show you the blatant double standard with Michael Vick's case. So we're going to continue on, and then we're going to come back on the back end with some more commentary. Let's go.
I take this opportunity just to speak from the heart. First, I want to apologize for all the things that I've done and that I've allowed to happen. I want to personally apologize to Commissioner Goodell, Arthur Blank, Coach Bobby Petrino, my Atlanta Falcon teammates, for our previous discussions that we had, and I was not honest and forthright in our discussions, and I was ashamed and totally disappointed in myself, to say the least. I want to apologize to all the young kids out there for my immature acts, and you know, what I did was very immature. So that means I need to grow up. I totally ask for forgiveness and understanding as I move forward to bettering Michael Vick, the person, not the football player. I take full responsibility for my actions. For 1 second will I sit right here, not for 1 second will I sit right here and point the finger and try to blame anybody else for my actions or what I've done. I'm totally responsible, and those things just didn't have to happen.
But at this point, you know, a broken Michael Vick, you know, admitted his fault. I mean, he came up, he took, you know, he not only he did the time, he did the crime, the so-called crime, he did the time, he took the persecution, he took the money loss and all of that. But it's just amazing how after he did all of this and paid his debt to society, that he still had people protesting, still had people that didn't want him in the NFL. If it wasn't for Andy Reid, he probably would have never got back into the NFL. Andy Reid gave him a chance to play with the Philadelphia Eagles, you know, and he came back and played pretty damn good at the end of the day. But yo, let's go into a little bit more. It's a lot more with this. Let's check it out.
If you go to the SPCA tonight, if you go to the Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society, there are people there working diligently to save dogs' lives and other animals' lives that have been abandoned by the people who don't care. Just this week, there was a dog fighting ring broken up in Germantown of the city. Nobody seemed to care, nor he, and he was in the city at the time, about helping those dogs. So we're here to speak for the animals.
Let's go! Mike Vick! He may not just tell the truth. He may not just say what the media is scared to say. Once you get okay, Eagles didn't. It's a black and white thing. It is
not. I don't think Michael Vick belongs in Philadelphia. It's a city with our own problems. We got enough problems. We're just adding more scummy people to it. NAACP is here to support him. Petership is here to support all the animals and all the that he caused.
I think everyone deserves a second chance, and we will see from there. I think he'd be a good thing for our team. I know he's done wrong. He's paid his dues for this, so we will find out, and we'll find out tonight.
I got Vick's dogs. Would you like some Vick's dogs?
Yeah, pretty much here for Michael Vick supporters. You know, he did his time, he's an Eagle, gotta support him.
When it first happened, I didn't really like it. You know, I mean, I'm an owner of 2 pit bulls and all, but I feel like he's paid his debt to society, definitely. I mean, he served 2 years, and I strongly believe that he can definitely help more pit bulls than what he's harmed by going into, you know, the inner city and stuff.
I like to see from just the clips that we showed, we didn't really get a consensus, but I can tell you for a certainty, growing up in the tri-state area, getting Philadelphia media, and you know, seeing all that at that time, I could tell you that people were more against Michael Vick than they were for him at the time, and we see that no other team would pick him up besides the Philadelphia Eagles. That should tell you a lot. Not to mention he had to pay back millions and millions of dollars back, you know, to these people. But I want to show y'all something else because, again, this is all about contradiction. We can walk into a local supermarket today, and we can find chickens, we can find any animal that you want to name that's slaughtered. As a matter of fact, let me stop talking about it and let me show you. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the next few minutes, you will be given an eye-opening look behind the closed doors of modern farms, hatcheries, and slaughter plants, revealing the journey that animals make from farm to fridge.
When police raided a farm he owned in rural Virginia in 2007, they uncovered an interstate dogfighting operation called Bad News Kennels. They removed 66 dogs and exhumed the bodies of 8 more. They also found dogfighting paraphernalia and a pit where fights were held. The dogs that were saved, raised and trained to be vicious fighters, are now being rehabilitated in hopes of being adopted, all at the expense of Vick, who was ordered by a judge to pay nearly $1 million for the effort. And the operation, Michael, that you pleaded guilty to bankrolling, to being a part of, engaged in barbarous treatment of the animals, beating them, shooting them, electrocuting them, drowning them. Horrific things, Michael.
It's wrong, man. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I mean, it was wrong. I feel tremendous hurt behind what happened. And, I should have took the initiative to stop it all, and I didn't. And I feel so bad about that now, and I know, that I didn't step up. I wasn't the leader.
In any way, for those who may say it showed a lack of moral character because you didn't stop it, you agree or disagree?
I agree.
For 6 years, Vick ran Bad News Kennels with his childhood friends, breeding, buying, selling, and fighting pit bulls. Was there an adrenaline rush? Was it the sense of competition? What was it that gripped you about what you were engaged in with the dog fighting?
Regardless of what it was.
Do you know what it was?
Don't even matter.
Do you know what it was?
I know why. I know why. And regardless of what it was and why I was driven, by what was going on, whether it was because of the competition or, whatever it may have been, it was wrong.
Were any of those reasons, though? The competition, the adrenaline?
Yeah.
Do you understand why people are outraged?
I understand why. And I'm gonna say it again. Sick as me to my stomach, and it was, the same feeling I'm feeling right now is what people was feeling.
And the feeling you're feeling right now is?
Disgust. Pure disgust.
When did you arrive at that feeling of disgust, Michael? When did the light go on?
When I was in prison. When I was in prison, I was disgusted, because of what I let happen to those animals. I could have put a stop to it. I could have walked away from it.
But you
I could have shut the whole operation down.
But you didn't.
But
and
I didn't.
Why not? What was keeping you going?
Not being able to say or tell, certain people around me that, look, we can't do this anymore. I'm concerned about my career. I'm concerned about my family.
So for the cynics who would say, you know what, I don't know, Michael Vick might be more concerned about the fact that his career was hurt than dogs were hurt.
Football don't even matter. That's a
losing a $135 million contract doesn't matter?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Why
I
not?
deserve to lose that because of what I was doing.
You deserve to lose it?
Yeah, I deserve to lose it. I deserve to lose the $130 million. Why would a guy who's making $130 million and, on the flip side, killing dogs or doing the wrong things, why would he don't deserve it?
We met.
Safe to say, since Michael Vick's conviction, him spending time in prison, and it pretty much ruined his career. You talk about a man who carried his team all the way to the NFC Championship, pretty much with no really good players around him, no defense, pretty much with all his legs. One of the most electrifying, probably the best players that ever step on the field, the most electrifying, one of the fastest, the quickest, the most elusive, players that ever step foot on the field. Career was cut short. He did come back and play some good football with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Jets. Now he's on staff, I think, with Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid, which is a good thing. He's doing some coaching. But, yeah, his career was ruined, from, I think, an act that we could see all up and down, the United States, slaughterhouses. And if you're not going to tell me that the people that's working, the owners or whoever, these slaughterhouses, are not being prosecuted for killing inhumanely, these animals, then I just don't see a justification for Michael Vick to have done all that time in prison and ruin his career and have to pay back millions of dollars. Now, there is a positive because, he did do some advocacy work, going out and speaking against animal cruelty. And let me be 100% clear with you. I'm against animal cruelty. I love dogs. I used to have dogs that I loved. I had a Rottweiler, different animals and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not with it, but I just don't think in this case that prison, that he should have went to prison, for this situation. That's just my opinion. But I want to know what y'all think in the comment section of this video. It's been a long time, but I think it was good to talk about this once again. So this is your brother, Oh God, Hip Hop News, Uncensored, exclusive. If you want to follow us on social media, go into the description box. Also, the website is hiphopun.com, hiphopun.com. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit the like button, share the video. Have a good one.